What's going on, folks? Fight Day live chat, UFC Vegas 61. Your boy was just watching some of that Fight Pass 24/7. If anybody has Fight Pass, they always have that one channel that's just going on playing random shit. And they were just playing the Ultimate Fighter live. One of the matchups there, it was Andy Ogle against Mike Rio. If anybody remembers when they tried that one season where they try to do all the fights live. So like they're shooting the show, editing it between each week, releasing like I think half an hour or 40 minutes of an episode, and then they would go live with the fights um in the house, and then they would just keep doing it on a week to week basis. A lot of well, not a lot, but a good chunk of guys came out of that season and actually had some decent UFC careers. Let's just so it was actually Team Cruz versus Team Faber. This took place in 2012. So we're talking about over 10 years ago. Here were the teams. Justin Lawrence, if anybody remembers Justin Lawrence, Sam Cecilia, Miles Jury, Mike Rio, James Vick, Vince Pichel. Those were the big names from Team Cruz. And then Team Faber was Ally Quinta, Cristiano Marcelo, if anybody remembers him, BJJ guy, Darren Cruikshank, Joel Proctor, Michael Chiesa. Anybody heard of him? Andy Ogle. Those are the main guys there. A couple guys that were eliminated during the entry round that were a part of that season. Akbar Ariola, Dakota Cochran, Drew Dober, James Krause, Cody Pfister, Jordan Rinaldi, John Tuck. Who did James Krause lose to? Huh. Krause got finished by Justin Lawrence. Justin Lawrence, I remember him having some hype on him. He never really panned out to be that great of a fighter. I think he was the first overall pick as well for Team Cruz. Let's see. He has an 11-5 record. Last time he fought was actually against AJ McKee back in April of 2018. Interesting. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Um, Elijah Dream was in Kraus on that. Kraus was on, I think, the Redemption season, if I'm not mistaken, where he actually made it into the house and he was a part of the show. But yeah, he was in the entry episode where they're doing the first couple fights. So I haven't released my plays on social media yet. I'm still considering it, right? Like I should, right? I'm technically not on a 3 event winning streak or longer, but the only loss that I took was that one unit on the contender series. But since you guys are joining the show, since you guys are chilling with me, 3 hours before the fights are supposed to kick off, I'll share them with you guys. Might as well. And then I'll point to anybody that wants to see my plays to just watch this episode. All right, let's go. Lock of the night play. Took some juice here, but I feel pretty okay about it. Gonna go with Honey Barcelos, 5 units at minus 230 is what I got a couple days ago. He's just a better fighter overall. Like, does Jones have a chance? Of course, he can find that knockout. He has big power in his hands, but I think that Barcelos is just a better striker here. And I think that Barcelos has shown off that his durability is good enough to deal with said power from Chevin Jones. But I'm hoping that we really see that full skill set of Honey Barcelos here. Seems like the dude's coming into this fight week with a lot of fire, especially after having those two losses that he's already had. Um, 2-fight losing streak that he's on. But Trevin Jones shouldn't be the type of guy that beats Hani Barcelos. So let's go Hani lock of the night, 5 units minus 230. If you want to parlay him with something, I guess you can go with Randy Brown. I didn't end up having any action on Randy Brown, as I thought I would end up parlaying him with Tabitha Ricci or John Castaneda, but I ended up being super hesitant on both of those spots. So I have no play on Brown, but I did take the chalk on Barcelos. Dog of the night play is going to be Wiley Cat Daniel Santos. As I spoke about the aforementioned John Castaneda, after running the tape, I was more impressed from what I saw with Daniel Santos in terms of his ability to control this fight. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be the one that's in charge. Again, not sure why I'm tired. But he should be the one that's in control here in terms of the striking realm. And I know he missed a lot against Julio Arce, but John Castaneda is a far cry from Julio Arce. So don't get caught on the recency bias train on the John Castaneda because he's coming off a career best performance against Miles Johns as a big dog. But Daniel Santos, I think, might be the big dog that spoils the party tonight. So I'm going Daniel Santos plus 162, 1 unit as my dog of the night play. I also have a 1 unit play on Yan Jiaonan at plus 195. Line is a little bit wide, in my opinion. I do think that she'll be able to land the better strikes here against Dern. Hopefully, she can keep the fight upright. Obviously, that's the big concern here. But if she can keep it in her realm, this fight's not even going to look close, and that plus 195 is going to look like a gift. But from a pre-fight standpoint, I understand the hesitancy people might have on the Yan Xiaonan side. Other money line play I have on the card is 1.5 units on Christoph Jotko at minus 118. I think that this is a great stylistic matchup for him. I think Brendan Allen is going to struggle to assert his dominance on the mat, and then I think he's just going to get picked apart on the feet. I don't know if he'll get finished per se, as that Christoph Jotko not really a perennial finisher, but Brendan Allen has to come against a lot of guys that are just better at striking than him. So who knows? It's on the table, but I ended up taking just the money line here at minus 118. A couple violent spots as well that I feel pretty good about. 2 units on the under 1.5 in the Costa and Canetti fight. I got that at minus 155 on Pinnacle a couple days ago. Very happy with that price tag. Pretty much expecting this whole card to start off with violence, starting with this card or this fight specifically. We know the whole blueprint on Randy Costa. You either get finished by him early or he starts to slow down and his opponents get him out of there. And considering how Guido Canetti fights, I'm expecting this to be a high action fight right from the first bell, and that should help us cash that under 1.5 ticket. And then lastly, 1.35 units at minus 135 on the Joaquim Silva and Jesse Ronson fight to go under 2.5 rounds. Silva, big durability issues over the last couple fights. Jesse Ronson has some solid power in his hands, good combinations, better striker, but he has his own issues, especially when fights hit the mat. And Joaquim Silva, with his back against the wall, I'd be surprised if he looks to go out there and strike with Ronson, hoping that he goes for the takedown and tries to wrap up a submission. But either way, I think somebody's getting finished in this fight. I think it's going to be Ronson, but I don't care who it is. I'm hoping Ronson wins and gets the finish as long as I can cash that under 2.5 plays. So 6 plays for me tonight, including that lock of the night and dog of the night that I spoke about. No action on Bellator for me. I was considering a couple. Excuse me. I was considering a couple of spots. Adam Borix plus 135 now. I think a small stab on Jeremy Kennedy wouldn't be the worst idea. Plus 500, especially. Juan Archuleta plus 100 was another guy I was considering. Was thinking about taking the chalk on Islam Mamedov. Um, Mike Hamill minus 120. And Vladimir Tokov plus 100. Thought was a decent spot as well, but didn't pull the trigger on any official spots there for Bellator. All right, let's see what the chat is up to here. One second, folks. I, yeah, I don't know what it is with me and these goddamn yawns. All right, Tristan Sharehouse in the chat. Appreciate the love, my friend Elijah Dream there as usual. My guy Moy is already hitting me with the carousel before the stream even got started. Appreciate the love, my guy from Fresno in the chat as well. Appreciate you stopping by. Olajuwon loves him some Fight Pass. Aaron saying I parlay Barcelos and Dern Yan over 2.5. That could be a little bit sketchy. You know what I mean? That over or under on the Dern fight, I'm a little bit sketched out by it. If Dern is successful in getting the fight to the ground, it could be over shortly. That's my only concern. Tammy Goodtree in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Problem Kid saying I had a 5 leg parlay last night, 3 dogs and 2 favorites for entertainment purposes. I threw $15 at it and it hit. Never been so angry about winning money. Why were you so angry? At least you won money. Joshua Frick, Lock, do you have anything for Bellator? I just spoke about it. Only a couple of spots I was looking at, but did not pull the trigger on anything. My guy Brian Wong in the chat saying, is Brendan Allen a better wrestler than Misha? I wouldn't. I'd say they're roughly around the same level. Like I think that Allen could get some takedowns here, but I just don't know if he'll be able to establish anything from on top, which is why I like the Jotko side. Um, good question there though. Problem Kid saying Mamadov for Bellator is huge value. Nick Brown trains up my sister Jim. He's got great jiu-jitsu, but his stand-up is limited and wrestling defense is not good. I will say this though. Very impressive win from him last time by beating a Canadian prospect in Mandel Nalo. Maybe that's why his line is not as bad as it should be, but yeah, Mamadov should win that fight. Just very sketchy that Mamadov lost to Ben Henderson. Close fight. Probably could have gone either way, but still, you should be having that close of a fight against a 40-year-old Ben Henderson, in my opinion. From Fresno with the $4.20 dono. I appreciate it. Always got the greatest numbers that you're sending over here. Appreciate that. Love, my friend. Saying what high price DK will score low in when Pricothes. I feel like I'm completely butchering that hashtag there. Let me pull up the DraftKings salaries here real quick. Again, DraftKings not really giving much of my attention nowadays because of the fact that we can't play DraftKings up here in Ontario anymore. But let me just, for the sake of it, give you what I think. Maybe Castaneda may not score that well. Maxime Grishin. Again, we're getting into the 8,500s there. Like out of the 9,000s, the guy that I would expect to score the least, probably Randy Brown. You know, I mean, I'm expecting him to just go out there and chop away at Trinaldo over 15 minutes. So, gun to my head, I'd say Randy Brown. Andrew Marchenko saying, "What's up, my man, Locke? You are not worried how hittable Hani looked last few fights. Henry was piecing him up at will. The difference between Henry and Jones is though Henry has a solid pace. Like he can keep a solid pace, a solid style. He was just staying on Hani the entire time. I don't think Trevin Jones has the cardio nor the pace or pressure to do the same thing that Victor Henry did. Um, so no, I'm not super worried. Like, of course he's going to get hit." It's MMA at the end of the day, but I'd be surprised if Howney gets put out here by Trevin Jones. I'd be a little bit surprised. Like it's his only way of winning the fight, in my opinion. But I'm hoping that we see some grappling out of Hani, mixing it up, keeping Trevin Jones thinking, and then even trying to slow down Trevin Jones the later the fight goes. Problem Kid saying Henry also did that to Hani on his debut and short Norris. I believe Hani is highly overrated. Henry is a legit guy though. Like I did not give him the respect that night. Um he is a legit guy that fought all over the world, been training with high level guys the entire time. I think myself included were underrating him going into that fight. Problem Kid saying he was pissed off at that parlay because he didn't bet a full unit. Ah, that sucks. Andrew Marchenko saying Olenek weighed in at 253 and when he is usually 230 pounds, probably just rolling off the couch. Latifi finish. I think he also just took that into consideration, considering how thick Latifi is as well. Maybe knowing that he needed, that extra poundage to probably implement his style as well. Um, I have no confidence in that fight whatsoever. That is such a toss-up fight, such a volatile fight. My prediction was Latifi KO. Excuse me, round one, but it could absolutely go longer than that. It could absolutely get sloppier than that too. So my prediction is the TVKO, but I'm good. Just sitting on the sidelines. Alex Ramirez in the chat. Appreciate the love, my friend. Problem Kid saying, I was surprised how much bigger Trevin was than Howney. Trevin put on a lot of mass. We'll see if it ends up helping him out. Chopping block fight for both guys. Andrew Marchenko saying, today is going to be a crazy day on DK. Plenty of good options. I can't stop getting to Stinko at 8,200 and Yen at 7,100. It literally allows you to put all big favorites in. Well, just remember, right, that some of the big favorites may not score that well. Again, Sadiq Yusuf, very low volume. He might be able to get the knockout, but like he might be a guy that just wins by decision. How about Randy Brown, another guy that I think ends up winning by decision, just picking apart Trinaldo from the outside. So like Stolyarenko, yes, she might not be a bad spot at 8,200. And then Yan as well, like she could score well should the good fight go the full 25 minutes. Gonna be interesting. This might be one of those days where we get like just one guy at that top of the board to win this the whole tournament. Joshua Frick saying no faith in Pitbull tonight, Lock. I've never really been big on him personally. You know, I've never been super impressed with the skill set. Boric seems like he has that style that could give him trouble. He's a big dude as well. I don't know. No faith in Pitbull. I'm not touching that fight. GSJ saying, do you think Trinaldo or Olynyk could break Randy Couture's age record? Maybe Olynyk. Like, what did Randy Couture stop fighting at the UFC? Was it 50 something? He's 59 right now. His last fight was against Machida in 2011. So 11 years ago, he was 48. 48. What's Olynyk at now? Olynyk's at 45. He could do it. You know, I mean, as long as he doesn't keep taking L's, like he's coming off a win right now, and he was already on a 3-fight losing streak before that, and the UFC refused to cut him. They could keep him around, you know, for a while. They could keep him around for another 3-4 years. If he wants to be the first fighter to have his last UFC fight at 50, he could probably do it. Look at this record that he has on Wikipedia. First fighter to compete across 4 different decades, the 90s, 2000s, 10s, and 20s. He's also the first fighter to secure a victory across 4 different decades, 90s, 2000s, 10s, and 20s. Crazy. Shout out to Alexei Olynyk. Doing the goddamn thing. Andrew saying, I really like Sadiq and Costa for DK. Canetti is old and chinny, and Sadiq's opponent is just a bum. I don't think Sadiq is that good, but he's literally fighting a bus driver. I don't know, man. Shane has had some decent stuff that I saw on tape personally. I don't know. I'm a little bit more sketched out about that fight. Like even in my Hail Mary parlay or my Gabby Garcia parlay, I just kept that fight out of it. And then Costa, yeah, he should be able to go out there and destroy the man. Way too fast. Yeah, I honestly I trust Costa a little bit more than Sadiq at those prices. Anthony Coons saying hardest working man in the business with on point content. Appreciate the love, my friend, as always. Shaft 4000 saying Pitbull will be suffering from food poison via Liver King and Costa. I'm fading. You're thinking about the wrong Pitbull, my friend. It's his brother that was in that liver or that liver eating contest, not the one that's fighting tomorrow or tonight. Sorry. Alexander Ryan in the chat saying Overeem did the same thing. Did he? He fought in 3 decades? I must have missed that. Andrew Marchenko saying I'm also at about 60% exposed on Davis. I don't see Slava stopping a takedown here. If Davis handled Mason Jones, he shouldn't have problems with Slava. I agree with everything that you're saying there. My issue is like what this layoff and him having COVID, possibly long COVID, and dealing with all those things outside of the cage, being out of the cage for 20 plus months. That's why I'm not bothering with him tonight. He should do exactly what you're saying, but sometimes it's just not that easy. DXJC is saying they're forgetting Olynyk's the first fighter to win in 3 different centuries. You always make my day, DXJC. Appreciate the love, my friend. Saying you can't tell me he isn't Nosferatu come to life. Aren't they making a? You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, he looks like that motherfucker, and they're just about to remake that movie as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I love it. Alex C in the chat. Finally, fight day. Yes, sir. Can't wait for it. Fights kick off in just about 2.5 hours. So there you guys go. Jared Curry said, "What's up, everyone? Excited to watch the Swedish meatball go to work today. Let's see if Latifi can pull it off." Problem Kid saying, "Last night was my first time actually watching a whole one card. The yellow card concept is badass. Wish they'd bring it to America." Not bad. I won't lie. I only watched one fight from that card, and it was just perfect timing. But I watched the Stamp Fairtex card. That elbow, that step in elbow that she landed in the second round, mm, thing of beauty. But yeah, and then I started watching other shit. I heard that there was a controversial decision possibly in the main event. I don't know. Alex C is saying Slava stays in the gym. He'll be ready. He should be ready. We shall see. We shall see if he can deal with that grappling, though. Alexander Ryan saying, "Yep, first pro win in 1999, last win in 2020." Interesting. MMA, right? Well, I think it was. Let me just check here. I think they meant Olenek was the first to get that win. So his first win, well, yeah, his first win in 2020 was like the second UFC card of the year. Alistair Overeem. Let's see here. Um, Overeem, he notched his win in May of 2020. So yes, he has done it too, but he was not the first to do it. JSJ saying watching Bellator tonight. I'll probably have it on another screen as well. What time do those fights start? Usually they're up here. Sorry, they're on Bellator up here. Let's see. 6:55 prelims, and then what is that? 10 o'clock? Yeah, 10 o'clock. Main card. Yeah, I'll probably have it on. What's up, Ryan? Saying I threw Sheamus in a $1 Hail Mary parlay because fuck it, you never know. Well, good luck, my friend. Just chasing any lean on Archuleta or Barzola. I lean Archuleta. I think he's the better overall fighter. Um, and I thought he was doing pretty well against Stotts, who, similar, not similar wrestling, but like just as good of a wrestler, if not better than Barzola. I do lean Archuleta, especially at that price tag. I can't pull the trigger for some reason. Something's just stopping me. Just saying, hey, there's no need to. DXJC saying, imagine how badly the media would flame Dana if they implemented a system where they docked fighter pay like one does with the yellow cards. Wow. Yeah, the media would absolutely tear up Dana. They shouldn't, like, when they do the yellow card, I think it should be more so of a warning of stalling, saying, okay, we might take a point away from you, but not your pay. Definitely not your pay. Problem Kid saying, yeah, that was disgusting. Khalil Amir is an animal. And yeah, it took Xiaonan over Lee, but it was close. Ono one prioritizes damage as the main scoring factor, so I'd lean to Xiaonan. But goddamn, what a fight! I gotta watch it. I guess I do have Prime, so might check it out. I haven't heard about this Amir guy until yesterday when he knocked out Nasty Yukin. So maybe that guy is the real deal. Jared Curry saying it's wild that Olenek and Vince Carter are the two dudes I now associate with ridiculous longevity in sports. Vince Carter, shout out to VC, man. VC 15. That guy was a huge part of my childhood, obviously being a Torontonian the way that I am. Alex E saying kind of disappointed Richie is a funny guess. Maybe you just have her walk out. That's it. Problem Kid saying, yeah, I agree. One shouldn't touch purses, but giving a yellow card for stallers so they can't win a round without a finish is really dope. Yes. Can't wall install. Lit. Good luck. Let's get it. Appreciate the love, my friend. Good luck tonight. Andrew saying, how's Dern such a big favorite here? She can't wrestle to save her life. Yan does not seem to be having a low IQ. Dern always finds a way to just get fights into the grappling realm, right? Even if she's not landing takedowns, she always finds a way to just like clinch her opponent up against the cage, jump on them, pull guard, like what she did against Tisha Torres in that second round, where she like jumped on her, but like used the Kimura to try to help her pull guard more. Um, that's how. And she might only need one of those. So I get why she's the favorite, but I agree with you. Why is she such a big favorite here? Like I'd understand minus 130, minus 140, but like minus 230 is stupid. Um, so you gotta take that shot on Jeon Nan. Let's see. Problem Kids saying Amir and Freemanov are savages, both cast for me as dogs. Plus 135 in Amir and plus 185 in Freemanov. Good shit, my friend. Andrew Marchenko saying, also, what the fuck is this? No fans plus no media in attendance today. Zuckerberg bought out the entire Apex Hall for himself, but then why no media? Just doesn't make sense. Any rumors? From what I'm hearing, okay, since it is fight day already, and I'm surprised they haven't really announced it, what I heard was they're either shooting a movie there, they're shooting some sort of movie, or um they're testing out that metaverse shit. Like they're gonna try to set up like special cameras and have the whole have the whole setup where it's uninterrupted by fans or media or anything like that. Not like media interrupts or anything to begin with, but I think they just want to have the whole apex to themselves so they can figure out different ways of doing things throughout the night. So those are the two things that I've heard: metaverse, or they're actually shooting a legit movie there. We shall see. Rips and picks in the chat. Appreciate the love. Good luck to you as well tonight. Problem Kid saying, yeah, and ground game is below average. I know blue belts that would for sure smoke her. It's all about can Dern get it there. That's the thing. Jared Curry saying, feels weird laying minus 200 on as pure a specialist as you're going to find in the UFC today, but I do think she's a rightful favorite. I agree with you there as well. Problem Kid saying there's a rumor they're doing metaverse fight. Yes, possibly a movie as well. Ribson Pick saying, everyone talking about Judge hitting number 61. How about old man Olenek going for win number 61? Put some respect on his name. Good shit. Good catch there, my friend. Yes, Olenek. 60 pro MMA wins so far. This might be 61. I love it. Socrates saying, I like the Max Rosskopf line. Now, here's the issue. Let me just quickly fact checks myself before I say anything out of my ass. Okay, so Roscoff has won a fight by decision since that whole Austin Hubbard debacle, right? Mike Hamill is a legitimate opponent, right? Max has only beaten Jeff Creighton, who was a 4-1 guy, and he beat Jordan Bailey, who was a 6-4 guy. Mike Hamill, 9-5, but a legit guy, in my opinion. Legit talent. And he can make this a rough night for Max. And if Max does start to falter under adversity again, that quit might come out in the game. That's kind of my issue. But if Max goes out there and showcases a solid 15-minute fight, I'm down with that. So let's just sit back and watch for me. But good luck to you, my friend. I don't have no action on it. I was considering Hamill, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. DXJC saying Zuckerberg is dating Mackenzie Dern. That'd be hilarious. Jerry Curry saying, considering he rented out a Dern card, I'm not sure if we're going to get the type of movie we're expecting. Again, he did not rent it out. He did not rent out the Apex. Let's get that straight. Problem Kid saying Mackenzie said they're trying to do a metaverse fight, and all this is coming out after Zuckerberg announcing himself as a fan. So to have something different happening, yes, it's going to be. We'll find out in a short amount of hours. Anthony Gonzalez saying Zuckerberg loves Dern. I heard about that how as well. Bananas and Grapes saying what's a metaverse fight? I think they're just talking about like having like people that have like the VR stuff. You can put your VR on and watch the fights from a VR perspective and pretend like you're right there cage side. I don't know what it is exactly, but like I think that's what they're trying to do. So you can watch the fights with your VR as if you're sitting there. Problem Kid saying, let's go Max for the value in. Good luck. Lajron Dream saying, would love for Ronson or Olenek to get a finish, then DK points. I would love to see Ronson win as well. Andrew Marchenko. It's just crazy that they didn't announce shit. Metaverse would be cool. So it just doesn't make sense why Dana egotistical ass didn't glow out about it the whole week. Yeah, maybe they just wanted to announce it during the fights. I'm not sure. Rips and Pigs saying, love the quick hour discussions, great idea and content. The engagement is always awesome. So you know what I do, my friend. You know how it be done. Socrates saying, how's Mamedov? I think Nick Brown a good junkyard dog. I never got to the window with Mamedov. You know, the thing to me is having as close of a fight that he had with Ben Anderson, a little bit of a red flag. But Nick Brown, you know, may not be the guy, right? He pulled off an upset of his own in his last fight against Mandau Nalo. I never got to watch the fight, but we'll see. We shall see. I don't hate anybody taking that shot on Mamadov as a parlay piece. DFS Whispers on the chat. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Problem Kid saying Mamadov is good value tonight. Nick isn't winning this fight. We shall see. DXJC saying you can watch the fight from your VR couch on your VR TV. True, but I mean, like, I think they want to set up like an actual like seat where they put the VR camera and then you can watch it from there. Like, I think that's what they want to do. We'll find out soon. We'll find out soon. Lajon Dream saying they do with NBA for courtside view. Yes, I saw that as well. Socrates saying, oh, he bought Bendo or he fought Bendo, must have missed that fight. Yes. He fought Ben Henderson back in April, I think, and lost. Rips and Picks saying Castaneda looked great his last fight. Are we paying juice because of his recency bias, or do you think Castaneda deserves this line? I don't. I don't think he deserves the line, especially considering he was a plus 160, plus 170 in his last fight where he pulled off the upset. I'm taking the shot on Santos myself, my friend. I think the line is a little bit too wide. Mellow DFS in the chat saying top 3 live dogs. I'm leaning Ronson, Jones, and Allen. I'm gonna go with top 3 dogs. I'll go with Daniel Santos, Yan Xiaonan, and I guess I'll go Jesse Ronson. Don't feel too hot about the dogs tonight. Appreciate the love, Mello. Brian Wong saying that metaverse concept would be cool. It would be cool. All right. Crazy that this half hour just runs by as quickly as it does. Let me just quickly drop the totals parlay for you guys for anybody that's interested in taking a shot on it. Not a big one, not super juicy. It's only a 4-legger. Hoping that we can hit this one. Here we go. Guido Canetti and Randy Costa under 1.5. Brendan Allen, Christoph Jotko over 2.5. Jesse Ronson, Joaquim Silva under 2.5. And then Raoni Barcelos, Trevin Jones over 2.5. Once again, 4-legger. Canetti Costa under 1.5. Alan Jotko over 2.5. Ronson Silva under 2.5. And Barcelos Jones over 2.5. All right. There you mofos go. My Russian friend here asking me what the bets are again. I will drop the bets for you guys one last time. Here we go. Lock of the night. Raoni Barcelos, 5 units, minus 230. Dog of the night. Daniel Santos, 1 unit, plus 162. Other bets. 1 unit on Yan Zhaonan at plus 195. 1.5 units on Christoph Jotko at minus 118. 2 units on Randy Costa and Guido Canetti under 1.5. And then 1.35 units at minus 135 on Joaquim Silva and Jesse Ronson under 2.5. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoy both the fights tonight. Don't forget Bellator is on tonight as well. So you guys can enjoy that. And then no event next weekend, but I will still be doing the MMA Lock Talk throughout the week. So make sure you guys check out the show. I'll catch you guys on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern to talk it all out with you guys, what happened at the events, and if you guys want to take a quick look at the upcoming events as well. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Good luck tonight. Let's fucking go.